As last time, as you guys might remember, it was the Taurus 692 against the SIG P365. And the Taurus was grouping terribly. As you can see, about 9-inch groups at 50 yards. And my theory was that the grouping was so bad because I was shooting 9mm out of it. The .356 caliber. Well, I've loaded it with 357 magnum. So I'm going to see if these groups will tighten up, and that's my theory. Okay, 50 yards exactly, guys. That's where we're at. Let's see if we can tighten up those groups with the 357 ammo. All right, much better group, guys. Look at that. Now we're looking at 1-inch groups. Much better with 357 magnum. So I am getting tighter groups with the 357 mag. The problem is I'm high and I'm having to adjust these tangent sights again. Seems like every time I go to shoot this gun, I'm readjusting the tangent sights. And I almost wonder if Taurus knew this was a problem, because they come with a rubber sight protector that goes over the tangent sights. This is the gun I carry in my truck in the holster, so it's bumping around and stuff all the time. I'm wondering the right pistol to have in the truck if the sights are that sensitive. Like I said, I'm adjusting them constantly. So let me see if I can get in there a little tighter now that I've got them adjusted better. Okay guys, so I got the 692 to where it's shooting pretty consistent, and I'm grouping a lot better. The 357 did make quite a bit of difference in the grouping. But if you remember, the P365 SIG got out here on the steel in increments all the way out to 150 yards. So we will continue. Will the Taurus be able to do that? Okay guys, you're up here with the camera and the metal. Listen for the ting. Alright guys, first metal group, 50 yards with the Taurus 692. Okay guys, second group, Taurus 692, 70 yards. So 90 yards, Taurus 692, 357 magnum. I decided to skip from 100 clear out to 150. So let's just go out to where the SIG made it and see if we can get down there, okay? All right, guys, 150 yards. That's where the SIG made it last time. Let's see if we can do it this time with the 692 Taurus. Man, guys, these modern firearms never cease to amaze me. Okay, 150 was not an issue with this tiny little 3-inch barrel Taurus. So let's go out. I'm at 165 right now. All right, I don't know if I've never shot a gun this small that far, but it's impressing me right now. So let's see. Yeah, buddy. Okay, there we go, guys. 165 yards. It's too hard for me to hold the gun and the camera at the same time. So you'll see it when it gets down that way. 357 mag has quite a bit more punch than a 9mm, that's for sure. Good God! Good God, guys, I need to set up another camera because I'm afraid people aren't going to believe that I'm doing this. I just hit that thing at 165 yards with the Taurus 692. Okay, let's take it out to 175. Let's keep pushing her. All right, here we are, 100. Oh, dude, let me just make sure, okay? I want to make sure that I'm ranging this right, okay? Before I say anything. Okay, so that is 179 yards right there, 179. I could take a few steps closer and make it an even 175, but I figure what the hell, let's just do it. All right, I'm going to see if I can get out there to 179. You know what, let's take a step back. There we go, 180. Let's just do an even 180 and see if I can hit that metal. But hey guys, in the words of some of my friends, I shoot a rifle moderately. I can't shoot a shotgun to save my life. And I am phenomenal with pistols. That's what my buddies say. I just did a shot with a Taurus 692. That's this little guy, this tiny guy. I just did that 180 yards. I'm speechless. I'm going to push this out 200. Let's see if we can do it. All right, guys, here we are, 205 yards. Let's take a few steps closer. That'll make it an even 200 yards. Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I failed to hit the metal at 200 yards with the 692. My eyes aren't so good anymore. I had a really difficult time when I was trying to shoot my open sights rifle that far, so I just really couldn't see the target any further than that. So 200 yards is the cutoff. So that's it for me. So we did it. The Taurus 692, I would say, more than redeemed itself from the last time. It was shooting lousy with the 9mm. The 357 Magnum made up for everything. I would call, as far as we made it on the metal, that was pretty good. Now guys, I will argue with a lot of people who shoot pistols, because a lot of people will tell you, and they've told me over the years, you gotta have barrel length. That's bull. I'm sorry, it's not true. Here's what makes the difference if you're a pistol shooter. Okay, grip and trigger and sights. That's everything. Barrel length doesn't matter. It's a 3-inch barrel, and I was doing 175 yard shots on the metal. Now, if we want to break that 175 yards and get out to 200 yards, here's what I'm going to do, because my eyes aren't so good, as I told you. Okay, this is a 357 Magnum, and the barrel doesn't need to be this long. Right here, you lose a lot of powder and a lot of explosive power of the cartridge. You lose right here. That's where a lot of the ignition goes out. So that's why I argue, I'm sorry, barrel length just doesn't matter in a revolver. It just doesn't matter. And I will always argue that point. Okay, I put a custom trigger on this guy. The trigger is phenomenal, 2.5 pounds. It's got a scope. Where my eyes fail at 200 yards, the scope's gonna make up for it. All right, guys, scope pistol, 357 Magnum Blackhawk at 200 yards. Let's show them it can be done, buddy. It can be done. Phenomenal trigger, custom. All right, let's hit that dog. All right, guys, another fun day of shooting. The reason that a scope pistol works, guys, is just simply because your eye may not be able to get out to where the target is. You know, and I've taken my scoped Ruger Blackhawk 357 out to Hawaii, and I did a lot of long distance shots on the volcano rims, and took out a lot of goats and deer. So it's a great shooter. Sometimes you need those long shots where your naked eye just can't get out there. And I just wanted to get back to you about our last challenge. It was the Taurus 692 versus the SIG P365, and they were both shooting 9mm, and the P365 just ruled supreme. The .356 9mm ammunition had some slop in the barrel, wasn't grabbing the rifling, and wasn't that's why we weren't grouping. When I then started shooting 357 Magnum out of this guy, oh man, those groups came down to 1 inch. So it actually started shooting more accurate than even the SIG P365. So that's the answer, guys. The Taurus wins in accuracy. And and then, guys, to get out there on the metal at 175 yards is phenomenal. I think the reason that it was able to get out further than the SIG is just the 357 Magnum has better trajectory. It has more power, quite a bit more of a powder load. But the argument has been presented to me numerous times: what do you sacrifice when you put a scope on a pistol? Well, let's look at this guy. It's handy, it's got a lot of power, it's got 7 shots, I can pull it out, I can whip it around, I have full field of vision. And we know that I can shoot long distance with it, 175 yards, that's great. So what do we sacrifice by putting a scope on a pistol? It's now borderline a little cumbersome. You don't have that same line of sight all around you, that field of vision. It's no longer handy. What are the returns? Well, you get extreme accuracy. But here's the problem, guys. So today when I was shooting this guy out there at 200 yards, I noticed that I wasn't hitting it first. I had to arc to be able to get out there to hit the steel. So now the question is raised, well, okay, if you've got an arc to hit with a pistol and you're shooting that far away, is it even an ethical hunting shot at that point? And so that's why now I'm starting to come around a little bit. You know, the only real payback that I'm getting from a scope on a pistol is if I can hit my pig at 100 yards, I can put it in there within an inch. Where with open sights at 100 yard, I can put it in at 100 yards, I can put it in there at 4 or 5 inches. So that would be the payoff. And that would be where you would want your scope pistol. So anyhow, guys, I don't know. I'm starting to kind of come around. I'm on the fence a little bit. I like the idea of having a backup with a scope pistol because they really are very accurate. In the end, you have to decide what works for you.